Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be going over awareness as a survivor in DBD or Dead by Daylight. So by this point you should have watched my other videos. So there are parts in my other videos that I'm not going to cover in this video in particular. So awareness is everything from where totems are, to gen placements, to where the killer is, to where survivors are, and we're going to talk about all of that good jazz in this one video, okay? What you're seeing on screen right now is some map layouts, okay? So these are floor plans of maps, and someone very dedicated actually put these on a Steam forum. There's a link in the description box below to this forum, so you can go and have a look, and there's loads of them. These are just 4 random ones that I picked out. Alright, there are absolutely tons of them, alright, for every single map. Okay, now all maps can have different layouts and everything else, so it's worth taking a look and just going and getting familiar with where things can spawn, like where your totems can spawn, where your gens can spawn, where your basement can spawn, everything else. Just get a little basic layout of how the map works itself. Alright, that will be worth it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about perks in a second, and then we're going to go over everything else that is possible to go over within DBD and within awareness itself. Okay, so let's talk about perks, and first up we got Premonition. Now Premonition is a good perk. We got Spine Chill as well, which helps with awareness, and then we got Windows of Opportunity, which tell you where your vault spots are when you're being chased by the killer. Then we've got Object of Obsession, means that you can use it and you can see the killer as well as they can see you. You got Alert, which is a Feng Ming perk, which gives you an audio cue when the killer is nearby. Then there's Detective's Haunch. Now I'm personally using this one in the gameplay footage you can see now. When you complete a generator, it shows you where everything is on the map for a short duration. And lastly we've got Kindred. Now Kindred is great. This guy that's just been hooked on the hook, as you can see here, okay, if he was running Kindred, then I'd be able to see where all the other survivors were, so the other 2 survivors, and I'd be able to see where the killer is as long as he's in close proximity to the person on the hook. Okay, this is great for awareness and great for helping your team. Okay, so I want to go over a couple more things, and I'm just going to let this gameplay in the background pan out a little. So a few things like that I would say that come under awareness is knowing where your totems are, understanding that killers have hex perks that can attach to these totems. One really popular one at the moment is NOED, or No One Escapes Death. Now that means that there are 5 Dole totems at most in each game, okay, and NOED will attach itself to a Dole totem at the end of the game when the last generator is popped, so when the exit gates get powered. Okay, this basically means that at that point, if that totem is activated, the killer can then one hit down any survivor in game. Okay, that's obviously if he gets hold of you, but at the same time it is something that you would want to avoid as a survivor. Okay, so knowing where your totems are and learning where totems can spawn on each map, it does take time, but it is essential that you do so. That way when you're in game running from generator to generator, it means that you can stop off and pick up a couple of totems along the way to help the team and avoid that nasty NOED at the end of the game. So that being said, part of awareness is knowing where your teammates are. It's also knowing where the killer is. It's also knowing where your gen placements are, and more importantly, it's knowing where your escape routes are. So it's knowing when you're on a generator where you're going to run to if the killer comes from either direction. Okay, because it's important for you to know where you're going to escape to in order to know where your pallet is, your nearest pallet is that you're going to go to, or what direction the killer could come from, in conjunction to where you're going to run. Okay, so as demonstrated here, the killer's looking around for me, so I'm just circling around a rock. Now I know that there is a good chance the killer could eventually see me, but luckily for me, she doesn't. She runs off. So I just go and tap the generator, cause at the end of the day we don't want regression on generators. And then I go and unhook my teammate when I know that it's safe. Okay. Now that is all being aware. It's all knowing where the killer is. It's all being aware of what could possibly happen. Now the killer's obviously come back, and now we're going to go into a chase again. But as you can see, the first thing I did was run straight to this pallet. I knew where my escape route was going to be because I pre-planned it. Okay, this is the type of thing that you guys need to be thinking about when you're playing in these games. Having a good awareness of the game will actually benefit you so much more than knowing how to hit a skill check or knowing how to outrun a killer. Okay, if you're aware of a situation that could happen, you can avoid that situation happening. Okay, now on to skill checks. Being aware that skill checks do happen when you're on a generator is important. There is a little audio cue. It's like a little ding that pops off, and then you get that little circle, which is the skill check itself, and then you've got to hit your button. I'm on keyboard, to mine spacebar, and you hit that within the little white block or the opaque white block. Okay, within the circle. That will give you good skill checks, give you 50 blood points. Great skill checks gives you 150. As you can see here, my detective's hunch popped off because I completed a generator. This made me aware of a totem being behind this bush. It also made me aware of where other chests are, where other totems are, and where other generators are. It helps you be more vigilant about where things are in the game, so you can avoid things like NOED and stuff like that, and you can find hex totems such as Hex Ruin and everything else. So I believe that's enough of me rambling on like a crazy man. I do hope that this video helped. It is hard to understand or describe what awareness is, or what awareness you should have, because to me it's not all about the perks that you use, it's all about everything in conjunction. So everything that you do while you're in a game, that's all part of awareness, in my opinion. Okay, I do hope that it helped, I really do. And if it did, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends and help them become better DBD players as well. We could always use some more better survivors, and some more understanding survivors is even better. Okay, so until next time guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will say bye for now, and stay tuned for more Survivor 101.